Hey YouTube, this is Southern Prepper 1, welcome to Boots on the Ground. If you have anything you could add, please send it to Southern Prepper 1, just the number 1, Southern Prepper 1 at yahoo.com. It'd be greatly appreciated. And I know thousands of other people appreciate it. I get emails just wanting you to know, if you're a contributor, that they appreciate knowing what's going on in your area. So let's get right into it. I went to Perkins Restaurant, and when I received my meal, there was an additional charge on there called supply chain adjustment. I questioned the waitress and she said it's a 3% charge added to every bill because of the increased cost of food. I told her the bills like this should be posted and they should not be hidden fees. In my opinion, they are stealing. Effective January 1st, Colorado stores will no longer provide free plastic bags for groceries. Walmart's asking you to bring your own. I guess other stores and probably Walmart also will be charging, 10 cents each for each bag. They also wanted to know that they think that companies are actually using inflation as an excuse to jack up prices so they make more profits. They also said in our small town we lost a small restaurant and that additionally Arby's were coming and they since now have canceled. Also, Home Depot in their area just announced they're closing. The employees found out last week, no notice, no transfer options. They also had a scare. Their local middle school had someone call in a threat, and the police went and surrounded it, but it was just a hoax. There was no live shooter there. Also said that their niece had $5,000 hacked from their savings account. She checks her checking account all the time because that number changes, and she hasn't checked her savings account recently, and someone stole $5,000. Luckily, she was able to get this money back from the bank. So, there's scammers out there. Please be very careful. This person said I was in Walmart in Pleasanton, Texas. I found damaged packs of oatmeal that had been taped back together and put on the shelf. They said, are we having an oatmeal shortage? I think there is an oatmeal shortage. I've noticed that on certain whole oatmeal, not the quick oats, that there has been a lot less in my stores. Newton, Kansas, the local cabinet shop in manufacturer in Newton, Kansas is going out of business. The management team is giving vouchers to all the trades at the local outfitters for winter clothing, jackets, and boots. I'm in the credit card industry. Visa and MasterCard requires that merchant post signage if they're going to be a surcharge on credit card transaction. Also, they should require or post signage when the merchant offers a discount for cash sales. If the merchant doesn't have the signs up, the customer can probably dispute the charges after the fact. My mother is in a large hospital for surgery again today near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I was able to go back in the pre-op section and I overheard the nurses talking about shortages, and they were scouring the drawers, unable to find the IV tube that was needed. They were also going around talking to the patients about pain management, and they were pushing the nerve block. And this was probably a result of not having enough other type of pain medication because there is a shortage of it. Also, they had a tray of supplies there, and it wasn't the exact tray they needed, so there was extras on there, and they discussed and they were saving everything that was extra on the tray, not throwing it away. And you have to understand these are prepped, sealed, and sterile trays. That's the amount of shortages that our medical industry is facing. Things are not being thrown away where they used to be. The positive note, they did receive great care for her mom, so that is awesome. This is from Fender. And those are guitar manufacturers, and it says basically they're laying off the afternoon shift. There'll be hundreds of people laid off. I guess people are not buying guitars. This is an update from Cleveland County, North Carolina. My husband and I were shopping at Ingles in Shelby. We needed certain spices, and on the outside of the box there was no dates. So we opened a few, and probably the ones you just got to pull up and pull the product out. And several of them were dated on the bottles, I guess 2020. We went through 7 bottles before we found a good one. Also, my husband had minor surgery scheduled for mid-January. His doctor sent in a prescription he needs for after the surgery. He told my husband to get them now and put them away until after the surgery. So we picked them up, and they're here for when he needs them. I guess the doctor's aware of how things are right now. Senators on Thursday passed the spending bill that moves Friday government shutdown back 1 week, so they'll have more time to negotiate. They only had a whole year to negotiate this. The Senate voted 71-19 to pass the continuing resolution, and it's going to be sent to President Biden's desk for signature. So, you just got a few things to do in life, and you know this deadline comes every year. This was in a picture sent to me from Kettleman City, California. The cheapest gas on the sign was $6.85. $6.85. This is from Maine. They said the Toyota Camry emergency brake lines are back ordered 2 to 3 months, and they need one, and they can't get their car stickered because that's a dealer part. So I guess because of the inspection in Maine, they're having problems. Also today I went to look at Toyota Tacomas at the dealership. Only 6 Tacomas on the lots and 5 Tundras. Actually, that's not bad. My Toyota dealer has nothing, pretty much. Nothing else. Large empty lot. Should have taken pictures. I know exactly what they look like. A few vehicles and nothing to sell. They told me I could order a new 2023 model, but if it's a custom order, it will take 3 to 6 months to get there. They also said, we noticed lots of driving violations. People running red lights, not stopping at stop signs, lots of unregistered cars, and lots of impatient drivers. Getting bad, seeing more and more. I bring my wife to work every day, same time, same route. I get so many more reports of people just being rude, and a lot of reports of people not having proper tags on their vehicle, and maybe this is because they can't afford it. This is from the people that make our good old sweet potatoes in Louisiana. To me, this was the worst year that I've seen in my career. I've been working the crop since 1990. They started off in Louisiana a great ideal conditions. Then the summer turned hot and dry. This hampered crop development. Then farmers wanted rain, but they got it. They got too much rain. They got 20 inches of rain in a matter of days, flooding the fields and rotting the potatoes. The damage was worse in the northeastern Louisiana. As they continue, they found out that some of their potatoes were decomposing, along others that were undersized. So they decided to delay the harvest in a last-ditch attempt to make a decent crop. But then, however, another dry spell set in. So they went from a 110-day crop to about a 150-day crop. But they eventually had to harvest it. And they said typically they produce about 500 to 600 bushels per acre. This year, he said, some fields yielded only 150 bushels per acre. It was a blow to farmers who have been banking on a bumper crop to help offset the skyrocketing cost of production. Sweet potatoes are expensive to grow even in a good year due to the labor-intensive planting and harvesting process. With cost of fertilizer, fuel, it was just very hard for them. So hopefully some of these farmers will not go out of business. They'll be able to make it through till next year. This is from Rapid City, South Dakota. Walmart, Thursday, December 16th. I've never seen the produce section so bare before. And this was also because of a 2-day storm. So they sent me pictures of it. A simple storm did this. If we had a worldwide problem or a problem in the United States and people panicked, if you're not stocked up now, a day or two after the panic, there'll be nothing to stock up. So please stock up now. Russia is upset that we might be sending Patriot air defense systems to Ukraine. They call it a provocative act and could lead to unpredictable problems, consequences. The U.S. has not yet announced the decision to send this, but it looks like they will be coming very soon. So the U.S.-Russia relationship is souring. We are moving more troops over there. We're moving more equipment. We're getting deeper and deeper involved in this conflict, and it is going to cost us. We will probably go head-to-head with Russia very soon in the sense of a situation that could spill this war into a bigger problem. Hopefully it doesn't, but we're sending them more and more advanced equipment. I read somewhere that a general in Russia said Russia could not defeat NATO or America without the use of nuclear weapons. And that's a little scary. This person works at the natural and organic grocery store, and they send us a lot of reports, and I appreciate their faithfulness. Now we are having issues with some of our milk. We have been receiving some of our private label milk and some of our organic milk cartons as well, so they're having a shortage now. We're not a shortage, but it's not as normal. But the good news is the egg cooler is getting a little bit fuller every week than last time. So now maybe something's in the milk situation. This person lives in the Columbia Basin of Washington State in a small town of about 26,000. We shop 2 stores, Walmart and Winco. Winco has the best prices and the best produce by far, but it's just a grocery store. We live 20 miles from town and used to shop weekly until our gas nearly doubled. They said before Biden inflation, lettuce was 98 cents a head, and we'd usually buy 3. We've been paying $1.98 for several weeks, but that all changed yesterday. The price now is $1.98 a head, but you only can buy 2. If you need a third one, it will be $3.98 a head. Looks like we're eating fewer salads. I want to tell you that a co-worker of my husband who lives in England, and that's across the ocean, England, my husband asked him how he was doing. He said freezing. They have to keep their thermostat at 60 to 62 because they can't afford the bill. He said the last one was $600, and that was like the November-December bill. So the one coming up will probably be worse unless they've really turned their thermostat down. So $600 to stay warm, and we're only getting into the colder weather in England. They said sound like they're really hurting over there. This person said, I've been prepping for over 30 years. I've always kept children's over-the-counter medication on hand in case anyone has need. Yesterday I was speaking with a daughter who lives in Arizona. She has a 7, a 4, and a 2-month-old. She couldn't find children's cold or flu medicine anywhere. After 6 places, she and the baby drove home. She mistakenly had bought some infant and was searching for children's cold and flu. I sent her a picture of what I had and will be mailing them to her. Never thought I'd be mailing anyone medicine, but I'm sure glad I prep and keep this on hand. What a blessing. This person just went by the Ingalls Distribution Center in Black Mountain, North Carolina. There was hundreds of empty tractor trailers parked in the lot with no sign of movement. Now, I don't know if this is normal. I don't have anything to go off of. This person said bank robbery yesterday in our quiet little community. American Bank in Wingate, North Carolina had a bank robbery. The suspect was a middle-aged white male, age 54, wearing ordinary clothes, and he took no effort to conceal his identity. He just rolled up into the bank and robbed them, then just rolled out. Numerous security images caught him. Today he was arrested by the Wingate Police Department, charged with common law robbery in North Carolina. Common law is defined as taking other persons without the use of threat of force or by using force. If he threatened force or said he had a weapon, it'd be definitely a worse charge for him. The suspect's address was listed as Denver, Colorado. Oh boy, what a long way from home to commit felonies. Many have attempted to discern his motives. The conclusion is only he and God knows his motives. We'll see how it all washes out. In the meantime, please always have situational awareness. You may think nothing's going to happen in your sleepy little town. Then Grandpa rolls in to rob your bank. Thanks for sharing that. I don't understand why you don't conceal your identity. Bread at my Kroger store in North Kentucky is greatly diminished. They spread out the cheaper bread, but better quality bread very limited, including the private selection. Private selection only has a few of the 3 varieties. They used to have many. No Pepper Ridge Farm bread at all. I live in rural northwest Washington State. I drive about 25 miles to shop in a large city in the area. In the past 4 or 5 months, my husband and I have noticed lots of RVs parked on people's property. It is obvious that the RVs are not just parked there. People are living in them. The slide outs are extended. Skirting has been placed around the bottoms. Sometimes porches or porta potties have been added or tarps over the roof. There are lots of these in the 25 miles to town, and we counted 16. We have driven multiple routes to check this out and have seen many RVs in similar situation on each route. I wonder if this is a sign of the times and that people have lost their homes or rentals and need a place to live. This one really is interesting, and it ties in with a lot of other reports I'm getting about people having their hours cut at work, not having enough hours. I work full-time at Home Depot. The other day, my store asked all full-time employees if they'd be willing to donate 8 hours every week until March to the part-time employees. Some of the part-time employees are only getting 8 to 10 hours a week when they were getting 28 to 30 just last month. This is not enough hours to make ends meet. Yeah, 8 to 10, you cannot live off of that. So sad. Hopefully, with all of us full-time employees donating hours, they will be able to give the part-timers more hours. Can you ask your viewers that work in the retail if this is happening in their stores also? So please put it in the comment section. Are you seeing this also? Or are you having your hours cut at work? In 2023, Michigan, which will have a Democratic-controlled government, the Democrats will be in charge. They're going to introduce a bill. House Bill 6544 is a complete ban on so-called assault weapons, which is in the bill. Any semi-automatic weapon that can accept any detachable magazine or be modified to accept any with a pistol grip or forward grip, any with adjustable stocks. It will be a felon to possess an assault rifle. Grandfather clause will make you register the weapon with the state police every 5 years. No assault weapon could be sold or purchased or built in Michigan. And it's going to be a 5-year prison sentence if you're caught with one. Hopefully this does not pass. If you're in Michigan, get out there and contact your representative if it does any good. This is from Central Kentucky. A bit of a gripe followed by an uplifting story. The gripe, the local small-town Kentucky post office, was a disaster day with 15 people waiting in line that literally stretched out the door. People were trying to run by during their lunch break, only to find one overworked teller. The worker was doing the best that she could do, but only one person can only do so much. I was there for 35 minutes just to get an answer to a simple question. Rising postal rates, less workers, and shorter window hours. The uplifting part. While I was in line, there was a young mother there with her 2 rambunctious children. The 3 and 6-year-old we're very good, but we're ready to leave. The father will be out of the country until April, and this poor mother was doing the best she could to fill out multiple custom forms while managing controls of the packages and her children. The dad flies, and the packages has an APO address, so I'm sure that he's either deployed or some type of contract over the holidays. I was next in line and felt something tell me to let her get in front of me. I offered her my spot, and perhaps she can get to McDonald's 5 minutes earlier, referring to her mentioning that their lunch plans 20 minutes earlier while in line. The lady was very thankful, and this simple act of kindness to this young mother was much needed and appreciated. I was in a hurry myself, but this was the right thing to do, and it did not kill me. It was a Christian and gentlemanly thing to do, and perhaps it helped mitigate the rising tension among the waiting masses. Be nice to people. People are hurting, and they need a little kindness in their life. So I commend you. If you can do something kind for someone, do it. This one, interesting. I have owned a small online business since 2001. That's a long time, selling dog-related training equipment. It's nothing big or fancy, but produce a decent income that has allowed me to work from home. I want to share how bleak my sales have been in December compared to previous years. People see the numbers for large corporations and have a hard time relating to that information. Small businesses are the backbone to our economy, and many of us are struggling. These are the December sales numbers from one of the platforms I sell on for the last couple of years. December 2019, a little over 2,100. December 2020, a little over 4,300. December 2021, 3,600. Today's date, $820 for December so far. My sales for December has basically fallen off the cliff. I'm normally so busy during the month of December that I'm working 12 hours a day, 7 days a week just to get orders out in time for Christmas. My orders have basically stopped. This is downright scary. The last time this happened was prior to the Great Recession. I'm currently looking for a job. I've been applying for various places since the beginning of December, and I have 0 callbacks. Thankfully, I've been paying attention and prepping, so I have a small cushion, but it won't last long, and then I'll be really in trouble. So, I'm getting a lot of reports of small businesses, their sales have collapsed. So, keep prepping. Thanks for watching.